All right. Good morning, everyone. Dan the Glass Man here, and I was about to go live on FB, Facebook, but I wasn't allowed to. Apparently, they said I can't go live for another 24 days. I didn't even know I was blocked or banned from going live. Usually they just put me in Facebook jail and I can't do anything about it. So, but check this out. This is an old image that I created a few years back. You could probably even go to the date it was created and saved. But this is a cool little image that I made a few years ago when I was first getting blocked because of they were saying that I was spamming. They said I was spamming too much on Facebook. And one of the weird things was that you know, a while back, I don't know how long it's been, maybe a year, but a while back I decided to clean some house. Go through my Facebook friends list and make sure that I knew most of the individuals. Of course, being that I am a networker, that I do a lot of promo and marketing and advertisement and things like that. Advertising for my own businesses, for my glass, for my artwork, for my music, and then also just sharing out a lot of the correct information and things like that. And so I created this because of the whole spamming and stuff several years ago. I was gonna do this whole cleaning house, right? I went through all of my Facebook contacts. At that point I had close to 5,000 friends on Facebook. And here I'm gonna get started with the wake and bake sesh. But so I had like 5,000 Facebook friends or close to it. I reached the max size, and then I could only gain followers at that point. So I was like, you know what? I don't even know who most of these people are. Let me just get rid of a lot of them. A lot of them were from networking from a whole different business I was doing many years ago, and they were just individuals who weren't even in communication with me anymore. So I figured we'll remove them. There's I don't know how many billions of people are on the planet. I don't know how many millions of users are on Facebook itself. But if you limit yourself to only 5,000 of the same people, then you'll never be able to reach those other billions of people or millions of people out there. So it's okay to remove some people who aren't interacting with you and just taking up space, basically. They're just taking up property without paying rent. So, and basically you simply just pay by, just paying attention, or paying it forward by sharing things, or by commenting and things like that. So I started going through the list. You start with the letter A. Everything's alphabetized for you nicely. Start going through that list of A's. I don't know. Like I said, there's 5,000 individuals. We got 26 letters in the alphabet. And so, I don't know, you could divide 5,000 by 26 and see an average of what the letters may have. But I'm sure there's probably like, a few dozen, maybe 100 in the letter A. There's probably quite a few in the letter A compared to other letters, like especially like X or Z or things like that. And so going through the Facebook list many years ago to just remove individuals, I'd go through, I'd like check off like, 5 or 10 at a time and then press delete, or however it worked. I don't remember how it worked. I'd click on the buttons and press delete, or maybe it was every single one individual. I'd have to click on that person and then press delete, click on another person. Like, I don't know how long it took, or if I was able to do like a whole bunch at once. I'm not remembering 100% on how that worked. But I do know that I went through all the way to like letter M, and then finally Facebook just shut me down, and they said that my either I was blocked from removing anyone else, deleting any other friends, and I think that was the first time that they put me into like a warning where I couldn't post for like 24 hours or something like that. Like the first time when you get in trouble, they're like they warn you like, oh, you can't post or comment or share or like or anything for 24 hours. And then if you violate that again, then they're like, okay, well now we're gonna give you 3 days, and then they give you 7 days, and then they give you like 2 weeks, and then it's like 30 days, and then after that it's just like 30 days. Or I don't know if they have a 90-day period or not. But this year, 2022, I started out with being in stupid Facebook jail and being limited, and and then that lasted for like a month, and then I was finally able to post again. It was like, oh, there was something that was going on that day. It was like January 26th, and something was happening, and I needed to record it. And I just so happened to get out of Facebook jail like on that day and was able to record whatever I needed to. And then I went back into jail again for another 30 days, and then back again. And so it's pretty interesting how once you're in this whole like restricted zone or whatever, then they basically start limiting you. So my account used to have 5,000 friends. I chopped that down to I don't know how many. We could actually go to Facebook now and check and see. um Trying to think. So all I know is that I've been in Facebook jail for probably at least 4 times, if not more, this year. And I finally decided, you know what? FUFB. I'm just gonna stop posting things like that, and or trying to. There's some things that you kind of just gotta share. You just gotta get it out there. But there are other things that it's like, well, everyone else is sharing this stuff, and I don't need to get wrapped up into it and then get myself in trouble, because not everyone is as restricted as I've become on Facebook. They stop allowing your posts to be seen. Like, some people, they post up something and then right away the Facebook algorithms will allow you to see it right away in all your friends, and your friends list will see it. Someone like me, I post up something, and only the people who follow me right away might see the post right away. But usually my post notifications don't reach anyone for a few days. So right now I just made a notification that I was going to be live here doing a early morning wake and bake sesh with the Glass Man. And then I realized, oh, I'm not allowed to. They blocked me. So what happened was they blocked me because of some image that I posted up. And let me see if I can even show you, if I try to go live here, like what will happen on Facebook. I don't know what's going to pop up and appear. There might be some images. I don't know. I don't know what's on Facebook right now. We'll see. We'll see if we get in trouble for anything. But that's why I've been actually utilizing YouTube a lot more. The reason why I wasn't using YouTube so much here. This is my profile right here. For those of you who don't know me on Facebook, that's who I am. I got 2.6K friends. If it's less than that, then that means it's a fake. But this is the Facebook here. Let's see what happens. Here, let me just scroll out just slightly. It'll go about there. All right. So let's see what happens. You guys, here, let me just get rid of this message. It's probably one of those messages where I continue to get more and more and more. So this is this is what they told me. You can't go live for 24 days because of this image here. And if you click on here, then This person going, that's weird. Like, no, it's not weird. So you can see your post didn't follow our community standards. I posted these years ago, but they're dinging me on September 15th and twice September 15th and again. So I got dinged twice on the same day for these. I have no idea how I can even get to this post and share it, or I mean, and delete it. Not share it. I'd have to like go through all of my images, all of my posts, um, to to fix this from happening in the future. So yeah, this is quite annoying, but at the same time, it's okay because they're just gonna remove something that I posted because it was true. It made others look like liars and idiots, which is in violation of Facebook community standards. So basically, they're not going to allow us to call anyone out who is protected, especially Hunter. You know, Hunter Brandon's. Let's go, Brandon. Hunter Brandon's laptop, right? So they're going to continue to do this to me on Facebook until I can like go through my whole entire history of for the rest of like my whole world of Facebook, and then finally, um, I might be able to finally utilize Facebook how it was intended for me to use. I don't know, but there you go. Let's just center this a little bit. So yeah, so you can see they waited a year to kick you off. Yeah. Yes, they did, Lauren. It's Friday, ain't got no job, ain't got shit to do. So yeah, so um, I couldn't, I couldn't share because of I post up things like this because I try to I try to let people know what's what's really going on. Oh look, free Star Wars Day. Oh, you gotta check out this video right here. Really cool. But let me just show you real quick what happens. Do a live, right? Live video. And go live here. And then this is what happens. You can create or you can go live. Here, we'll just select this one, go live, right? So they allow me to do all this stuff, right? Oh, no, can't go live for 24 days. See account status. All right, let's check out my account status. Well, I know that my account is restricted. Check it out. Only you can see this. See account status. Yeah, that's what I want to see is my account status, please. So you can see my account is restricted. You have multiple restrictions on your account. Things I manage. Look at, I have this many, I have lots of pages, 34 groups. You can't go live for 24 days because of restriction on September 15th. Then you can't advertise for 24 days because of restriction on September 15th. And September 15th, also your posts will be moved lower in feed for 23 days. So you see? So let's see why. I don't know if you guys deal with any of this stuff, but this image here, I mean, this is his image that he posted on his laptop, Hunter. And apparently there is a young female there. You can't see any kind of nudity or anything, but it's an adult with a young female, and I believe there may be some illicit substances in there. You shared this on your profile. Close September. Okay, well, let's see. What can we do? When did I share this? And can I remove it? And by clicking on this, does that do anything? Los Angeles, California, July 13th, 2018 at 8:59 a.m. 23,000 of 24,000 because of him being with individual. Now you can't see nothing, you know, it's like it's all dark and whatever, but yeah, that's what I shared because it was from his. That's hilarious. Let's see why again. Oh man, I wonder if this is going to hurt me on YouTube now. And then this January 17th because I shared something here. This one, so it doesn't allow me, it doesn't like give me the opportunity to remove it. I can't delete it. You accepted our decision. You're posted and follow our standards. So be it. Done. Okay, whatever. It's done. I can't remove it. So what are they going to do? They're going to continue to hit me up. Check out our restriction history. Let's see. When's the first time? You guys want to see? Look at this. September 15th, September 15th, September 15th, September. All of these. September 15th. See why? I don't know if we saw this one. Why? Oh, look at this. Because of I posted this. I got several strains for 25 all rooted in cocoa core. Several strains of what? Because I posted that something was for sale maybe and not using a for sale post? I don't know. But I got dinged for that on May 18th. And then also this one here. Everyone shares all these little images and things these days, right? But for some reason, I wasn't able to share this, which was celebrating our state of New Mexico 4/1/2022. So on March 31st, I shared this a day before. Cannabis prohibition ends in New Mexico at midnight. So that's why I was sharing it at that point. Celebrations begin tomorrow, not just legal, recreational for all adults 21 plus. Pipes now legal in New Mexico too. Hit me up for your gardenia glass pipes and dabbers. That's it. And bam. Prohibition. Yeah, FUFB. So we'll continue looking at this. What did they ding me for? All right, so that was for May 18th, right? Here's another one, May 18th. Oh, okay, there's that. Oh, look at this. PCR can't distinguish the difference between the Rona and the flu. So how the fuck you know what you're sick with right now? That is 100% truth. But because it goes against their CVID standards, community standards, they dinged me. Isn't that interesting, guys? What's the first thing I ever got dinged for? Do they go? I don't know if they even go that far. October 1st. Okay, let's see what's this one. October 1st of 2020. You couldn't post or comment for 24 hours. Why was your account restricted? Some of your content in the last year didn't follow our community standards. Okay, I can't even click on anything to see what it was. That sucks. So yeah, FUFB. Let's see, what's the one after that? Let's see why. They're not gonna allow me to see. That's so you know that they're gonna restrict you, but then they ain't gonna like tell you. They're like, all right, we're just gonna throw you in jail, but we're not gonna tell you what you're being charged with. Like, all right, Facebook, your standards are crap, man. And because I just put that the PCR, which this information comes from the creator of the PCR test. He says that you cannot distinguish the difference between this or that. Like, all you can tell is whether or not you have something within you. That's about it. Yeah, and this one is dumb. I got several strains. I got hit for that. And then this, celebrating the cannabis prohibition, got hit for that. Hit for this, hit for these. Okay, so those are all the things I guess I've been restricted for. Bam. There they are. All those things in the last year. So that's why I have to say FUFB because of this. My account is restricted. The things that I share are restricted. So that's why, you guys, I no longer utilize Facebook as much as I do. So those of you who are watching right now or will watch eventually, just know this is the reason why. It's because I'm getting restricted. I'm getting dinged left and right so much. And there's nothing I can do. I mean, maybe I could go through all of my history and find those posts, But if they've already removed them and deleted them, I don't have the option or opportunity of doing so. So that's kind of messed up. But whatever. I've been telling people for the last 10 years now to get off of Facebook. I've been utilizing Facebook as a means, as a way of telling people you need to get off of Facebook because Facebook is a crap. Shoot, all they're doing is they're stealing your intellectual property, and then they make a ton, billions of dollars off of your intellectual property. So if you understand business and you understand the value, the worth of intellectual property, I mean, people get sued for stealing others' intellectual properties, but we allow it because as soon as we put share, that's our agreement that we then say, hey, Facebook, you're allowed to use this for your revenue to create money. So every time that someone clicks on your page, clicks on your post, they make money. We don't make any of that money. That's why I tell everyone there's other platforms out there that you can post on, you can share your intellectual property with, and you can make money. Also, you can simply just create your own website. I've told people how easy it is to create a Wix website. Real simple. I can build you a website in like 2 hours. It won't be completed. There is no website that's ever completed, guys. That is an ongoing project. You're always continuously updating a website. It is never a finished job. So if you ever hire someone to work on your website, just know you're hiring an employee who's going to be there with you throughout the history of your website. Unless you choose that, oh, they're not doing enough, or they're charging too much, or they should have had it done by now. Should have had it done by now. That's hilarious. People think that websites are completed. It's like, no, that's an ongoing project that you just started for yourself. You will never finish that task. That's one of those things like dishes, like cooking. You will never finish those tasks. So yeah, I'm about to light one up here. We just got this really nice. So this has the glass crutch inside. I don't know if you guys use glass crutches or not, but ain't that pretty? Look how clean that is. It looks like it's brand new. That's the one thing I love about the crutches that I use compared to these knockoffs from China or whatever they are. You got these ones here. They put a little dinghy in there. They just basically just melt it there and push it, melt it, push it, done. $5. Takes them a minute to make. Or you make it completely see-through without any of those little dinghies. You see, there's no pushes in there. It's just a straight tube. The trick is you flare it on the bottom or keep that open on the bottom, and you close or constrict the top right there. So nothing falls through, nothing gets sucked through. That's a Gardenia glass drip tip for you. That's the difference in quality. That's the difference in 27 years of blowing glass compared to the newbies who are just trying to make a buck off you real quick on some stuff. So be careful. Be aware of the Chinese market, the Indian market of glass. They don't kiln their glass. They crack real quick and easy. But yeah, this is what's up on Facebook. And so let's take a look. The things you manage. Page. This is one page. Page has no issues. Awesome. Good news. No violations to show. Yes, that's helpful. That's interesting, huh? So can we check all of our pages? Did you guys know that I have so many pages? The Glassman recommends. Oh, it doesn't have anything on there. Oh, maybe it was just that one that they were trying to tell me that I had some kind of restriction or no restriction or whatever. But check it out. Here, let me show you. Let me show you. These are the different pages that I manage. We got Earth Tribe, Local Love, mad. Musicians, artists against drunk driving. I started that because of our boy Wakesell when he tragically lost his life in that drunk driving accident. Drunk driver hit him, took him out a week before his premiere of his CD. And you got to check out that CD. It's amazing. We got NM Vapors. That's when I used to do e-cigs. I could probably get rid of this page, but there's a lot of people there. Share some knowledge. It's just a page to simply share knowledge. ABQ Natural Clean. This is a business that I do. Basically, I do a lot of yard work, but I also offer house cleaning with a non-toxic, chemical-free product called Norwex. Enviro Solutions, always pushing about environmental solutions. Coming up in ABQ, this is all my business ventures, and just if you want to watch me coming up in Albuquerque and how I'm gonna try to make my millions. All right, Lido Vera, New Mexico. It's a lidocaine mixed with aloe vera and CBD ointment. Works really well. I sell those on the side. Gardenia glass straws, a creation of mine. Sell those. Back to nature, teaching everyone how to get back to nature. Collecting seeds, planting seeds, making your own compost, building your own soil, how to make self-watering containers, how to plant and keep your plants growing, like these in the window. And then you got Sealed with Love Memorial Glass, another product of mine where we embed cremains into glass permanently so you can wear your loved ones over your heart. Element 37, local reggae rock band. The Glassman recommends, just things that I recommend. That's where we're at right here. The family funds. This was something I tried to do to get all of our people together to try to just donate $5 a month. We put it into a pot, and then someone who needs the help gets it. Cosmic Mall, that's still something in the works. Luna Star Farm, that's something in the works as well. 505 Barter Club, always bartering, trading if you want to trade. We have Spaceport Pros members. This is a, I don't go here because this is my old business, but there are a lot of business members from the community in here. So I'd like to keep that just to see what people are doing and stuff. Solar, power to the people. If you want to get solar power, Power, Powur, I think it is the company. And I was trying to become a sales rep for that. It didn't pan out. I still could. The Little Drop, of course. Burrito Bros, specialty burrito service. I used to do vegetarian burritos and I would deliver them. Glass Balloons is the hottest entity right now for Gardenia Glass and what's going on in my life. That will be showing up. Glass Balloons, I will have them on a world tour very soon. The Badasses of Burke. We got all the individuals that I think are badasses here in Albuquerque who perform, who can get up on stage without a band, just themselves pretty much, and be able to just do it. You know, not even mic'd, not even amped, just get up there with the guitar and you know, or just even spoken poets, or even just artists too, just the badasses who just, you know, they just got it going on. You know, there's some individuals who can just, they entertain the masses or the crowds, right? And we got Gardenia Glass, of course. I've been blowing glass since 1995. I got to represent that always. Glass Jellyfish Jewelry, another entity of Gardenia Glass. Spaceport Pros, that's that business from back in the day. One Drop Studio is a diverse entity of Gardenia Glass Studios. Basically, One Drop Studios, when I'm in the studio, just focusing on water drops. We got Cosmic Glass. Cosmic Glass was actually the e-cig company that I started a while ago. Gardenia Glass Studios, basically just when I'm working with Gardenia Glass. The UFO pipe is a part of Gardenia Glass. I don't make UFO pipes anymore. Chronic Logic Band, one of the original bands from back in the days, guys. Chronic Logic, still rocking and representing. Earth Stoves, to teach you how to make rocket stoves and different earth cob, what do you call it? The heaters, when you can make a whole bench heat up. You got the whole entire cob and you got piping and plumbing and all that going through it to heat it up. A mass heater. So you make a rocket stove with a mass heater and you can heat your home for free, basically, with just a little bit of fuel. You got glass drip tips and tanks. That's all a part of the Cosmic Glass or the e-cigs. Cosmic Trading Post. That is one of the original entities that I was a part of, and cosmic trading post is something that I would love to see happens like the way, somehow, the way we used to do it. I mean, this was a place of, it was a centralized magnetic hub of souls that would all come together, all this cosmic family that would all come together, all one, all this community to help each other out in our spiritual and our soul path. And then we did a lot of really good things. You know, we had Cosmic Trading Post was an artist and a healers cooperative, which meant we had artists in there who was cooperating together, and we had healers together who were cooperating together. So we had a very diverse community there. A lot of jewelry, a lot of tapestries, a lot of T-shirts and stickers, and all kinds of cool things that you wouldn't find anywhere else except for at the Cosmic. A lot of crystals, if you guys are into crystal healing and those kind of things, homeopathics, all that kind of good stuff we had at the Cosmic Trading Post. So if you are part of that, then you are part of Cosmic Family, and blessings to you. Hope you're doing well, Cosmic kids. So, and that's where a lot of things happened and occurred. I used to manage the Cosmic Trading Post, so that's why I have the Cosmic Trading Post page. We have the Drop of Water, of course. You guys should all know about that. Luna Star Farm, once again. The Glass Man. This is my musical page. We have henna and glass. Now, back in the day, Luna's mom used to do henna, and we used to work at Cosmic Trading Post, and we would do henna and glass together. It was a combined thing where you could get some henna done while you're watching a glass blower making things, doing live demonstrations. It was really cool. And then we got this page, which I did not create. Someone turned me into the admin, Standing with Standing Rock. I don't know who created Standing with Standing Rock and started this page, but I am now the admin. I don't know if that was something that they individuals tried to use against me. Standing with Standing Rock, that one right there. So I don't know if that's something that people put there, so then they could try to use it against me. Like, oh, look at this guy. He never even went to Standing Rock. Oh, look, can't even prove if he has native blood in him. It's like, you guys realize we're all native to Earth, right? We are all God's children. But if you want to segregate still and say, this land is my land, this land ain't your land, get out of here now. You know, like, come on, man. We are all from this earth. But if you want to continue to create borders, I'm talking about you indigenous folk who want to segregate still and be extremely racist. You know, I get it that, you know, for 400 plus some years that that this land has been desecrated because individuals came over here and they started to desecrate the land. But, you know, giving into those ways, you know, now everyone's got technology on the res, and everyone's like asking for Nestle water to come help them, and everyone loves FEMA, and everyone's getting that white man's jibby jab, and it's like, you guys are done sold out already, and then you're trying to call out people like me who are trying to help out the movement and the situation, but because I wasn't at Standing Rock, I'm not one of you. Because I don't have any paperwork to prove that I have any native blood in me, even though my mom's Mexican and Mexicans are native to this land. You know, I live in New Mexico, Nuevo Mexico, which comes from Old Mexico. You know, Old Mexico used to go all the way up into to Canada, pretty much. You know, all the way on the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington. That was all Mexican land. So I am native. But whatever's, you know, people are interesting in that way, and to me it's like, you know what, everyone is native, even the white man is native here to this earth. I mean, what you got aliens now? Yeah, we do actually. But yeah, so that's what's going on on Facebook. But we're gonna have a quick wake and bake session. I actually just added a little bit of some I don't know if you can see that little bump in the night right there. Let's see. Can you see that? A little dibby dab right there, a little shiny. You got the shiny. So we got a little dab on there. But let's see what's going on. Check this out. World's first paragliding DJ. You guys want to like join me and just like hang out? World's most photographed event, Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. You know, we got a lot of stuff there. We can watch some videos on different things. Pilots reporting new bizarre activity in the sky above Earth. ISS confirms. Ah, new bizarre activity. I'd like to kind of listen in on this. What do you think, guys? This is the kind of stuff that I watch in the mornings. These are the things that I think, oh yeah, this is important. We should be checking this kind of stuff out, seeing what's going on. I don't know if the volume is going to be loud enough for you guys or not. My wife and child is still asleep right now. It's only 8 in the morning here in Albuquerque, but good morning, you guys. I see that I got a couple people watching. So we just went through my rant and rave on Facebook here, and now we're gonna watch Mr. MBB333, Earth Watchman. So this is an individual that I watch, and you know, this guy, he pretty much shares a lot of different things going on around the world. I find it really, really cool and interesting to see all the different things that he's been talking about. He's talking about like the sun. It's what would you call it? Like it's flashing, flickering, getting brighter and less bright, like it's going in and out, in and out. But let's hear what the pilots have to say. Pilots reporting a new bizarre activity in sky above Earth. ISS confirms. International Space Station. That's ISS. So the International Space Station confirms this. All right, we're gonna like this. Always give it a like. He's got 66,000 views on this one. He has a total of like almost 500,000, 568K subscribers. Look, I'm not even subscribed to him. Let's add another one right there. That's interesting. I'm not subscribed to him. I always watch him. Sorry about that. All right, but let's hear what these guys have to say. We're just gonna kind of
west coast of the United States and in the Central Plains, Pacific Ocean, near the west. Unknown objects being spotted down here above the Pacific Ocean, near the west coast of the United States and in the Central Plains of the United States. There's been several reports by pilots going back to August the 18th, and several crew members have reported seeing unknown lights. In some cases, they're saying they were making big sweeping turns in the sky out here above the Pacific Ocean. We just happen to have a video that was submitted by Mary Hall.
All right,
of the Pacific,
let's see this video.
Sky.
We're just gonna fast forward into it. Come on.
And it was 18th of October. I want to share with you guys.
Oh, also, was that the video?
So he goes on to say, and one of these coincides with what these people are reporting they're seeing from airplanes. And one of these guys was a former F-18 pilot in the Marines. And he goes on to say, I've never seen anything like this, talking about what he just saw here recently. And again, the reports go back to August 18th. And there's been multiple reports since August 18th. Up to today. And this article over here at ndtv.com was dated.
What was going on October 18th
of 2022?
That was just 3 days ago, right?
Right to some of the video footage that I want to share with you guys.
Come on, let's go to that video footage.
August 18th, station above the Earth from speeding by the International Space Station that was picked up by the live cam. Here's a meteor from the International Space Station, and this meteor just happened to be out above the North Pacific Ocean. And there was some brief talk about some of these unknown lights possibly being meteors. Well, here's what a meteor looks like from the International Space Station. It's undeniable that's a meteor. You would not mistake that with some sort of a random unknown light. That's clearly an identifiable green meteor visible from the International Space Station. What you're about to see, though, here in this next segment is not so identifiable. And it coincides nearly perfectly with what some of these pilots are reporting seen out above the North Pacific Ocean. And that's where this video footage is from. It's from the International Space Station, but you're looking at a mysterious white object. You're going to see it make a big sweeping turn here. That's not just some random light. That thing is under intelligent control. That object appears to align with what the pilots reported seeing out above the Pacific Ocean. And there's more footage here. Here's another object that was spotted down south of Australia. This was an ultra high-speed object, once again submitted by Mary Hall from just a few weeks ago. Here it is in slow motion.
So this guy here, he follows a lot of different anomalies and things that people have seen and reported in the sky, a lot of UFO stuff, and just random weird things like this, you know?
In this location, an object was spotted by a pilot and some crew members of a high-speed unknown object in the north central plains, north of Chicago, and that is exactly where the International Space Station was on July 28th when this was recorded and noticed by Mary Hall, who shared it with me, and I'm simply passing it along to you guys.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mary Hall.
That was noticed by Mary Hall on May 3rd of 2021. See it right there? Moving across the screen from the lower right to the upper left. That's not an Earth orbiting satellite. It would be orbiting in a different direction, and it wouldn't be moving quite that fast, I don't think. I mean, this thing is...
I have no idea on if it would be or not be.
Object. No space station.
All right, well... So cool. So yeah, so they got some stuff going on.
To Red River, New Mexico.
Ooh,
video
New Mexico.
Submitted here recently of an unknown object in the nighttime sky. Red River sits at about 8,900.
Red River, so beautiful, guys. Go visit if you never did.
Population of 477 people. This has narration, and here we go.
So good morning, guys. We're just watching some videos right now. This is New Mexico, though. What the heck is that?
Video footage submitted by Simon.
Wow.
This is video number 1.
Good job capturing that.
What is it? It usually slows down.
It's slowing down.
What is it? It's an orb?
No, it's not a plane.
The space station goes really fast.
I'm zoomed in on it. It's just solid white.
Really? I think it's a UFO.
It's slowing down.
We are in
New Mexico,
exactly.
Roswell.
Yeah. We are in New Mexico. There are UFOs here. We do have Sandia Labs, Los Alamos. We have Roswell. We have Hangar 18.
Okay, this is
we have Dulce. We have a lot of stuff going on out here, guys.
And again, this object
And that's up there by
up
in the north.
northern New Mexico.
I used to live up in that way, close to Taos, just south of Red River, south and to the west of Red River.
And you can hear Simon himself say, "What in the world?" Over here on the left, I've seen
you can.
the original videos over here on the
Yeah,
right.
you can see that
This
he's
is what
zoomed
they
in,
saw
and then
when
that's
they were looking up in
the
the
regular
sky. I
one.
just simply zoomed in to get a
So
closer
they're
look
watching
at
this
whatever
thing,
this
and you can
object
see how it's like
was
flickering all
moving through the
crazy and
nighttime
moving
sky.
around.
And again, this was
But the way that he
mystifying.
zoomed in
They were
on it
very
right there.
puzzled by what they were seeing
That's
in the
cool.
sky.
Thanks
Looks
for
like
sharing,
the
guys,
pilots
from
and
New
crew
Mexico.
members.
That's really cool. So yeah, this is Mr. MBB333.
August, September, station live island.
All right, he's gonna
Once
just
again,
share
photo-
some of the same ones again and again, I think. But yeah, that's some things that I just do in the mornings, just hang out and watch some random stuff. But I was really hoping to. Well, I don't know about hoping. I know that people on Facebook, they expect me to be there, sharing things, since I've been sharing stuff for a while. There you go. So we're here live right now. Double rainbow illuminates sky in Texas. What is that? They don't ever get a double rainbow, or what? So, trying to think. I got a lot of different playlists here. And this one here, surviving the CV virus. So that one, we got 646 videos here. And let me sort this. Date added. Let's go with the newest to the oldest. So this should be the, up top should be the last one. Oh, I put this, bus torn apart after slamming into pole. There's been a lot of car accidents that have been occurring recently. The Illinois teen collapses during a solo, only 17 years old, just collapsing. Individuals just collapsing while they're driving, guys. Oh, military readies for lawsuits because of a leaked memo that says that they violated the constitutional laws of those who are trying to get the religious exemption. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. FDA advisor drops bombshell about the data, and they are furious. Yeah. WHO supporters comment on this company for not testing for transmission. Right. This one here. This one here I think you guys should watch. So, you know, I get banned and whatever on Facebook because of things that I post, of truth that I share. And, you know, the truth is coming out. And we're going to have to keep pushing for the truth to come out. But it's going to take some time, guys. So, but if you guys are here watching and chilling, you want to smoke with me, I'm already halfway through this one here with the oil on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Nice and wet still right there. Oh, I don't know what's happening. It's loading or something's going on. Hopefully they didn't take this video down. But this is a good video. And I'll probably just leave it at this because there ain't much more that I wanted to do except kind of just hang out and chill, have a quick little wake and bake smoke session with the Glass Man here on I was going to do it on Facebook, not on YouTube. But we're here now because FUFB. So yeah. This video here, you know, this individual, when things were going on in the last like year or two, I've been watching him carefully because I think he was a proponent for individuals going to get the jibba jab, you know. But I think he was also for freedom of choice. He was all about, you know, like, if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You shouldn't be forced to. You know, that it should just be a simple choice or decision to make for your own self and your own health. But for some reason, certain individuals of the elite status decided that this information shouldn't be privy to everyone, so they've been censoring individuals, which is why, you know, we're talking about FUFB.
Safe and Effective Part 2. We're going to talk about some research about.
All right, so this is it's Safe and Effective Part 2, and this guy Mike Mutzel, he's a MS. I don't know what that stands for. He's founder of Mile Science. So what is that? MS, Master Scientist.
One article that we're going to talk about here was published in none other than the Trends in Molecular Medicine. The title here is Adverse Effects.
But you guys are welcome to comment here if you'd like.
Hypothesis. This is so important, and I know for some of you this conversation is like beating a dead horse, but for a lot of you it's not, because the holidays are coming up. You're going to be getting questions from your friends and your family members around the Thanksgiving and Christmas table about why you didn't get the new bivalent booster, little John. Why didn't you vaccinate your 5-year-old? These are questions that are going to come up. And so I'm trying to arm you with information that was considered hitherto a conspiracy theory.
Sorry.
That now
I'm trying to get the very bottom of the screen right there, just in case he puts any more of those pop-ups.
That were not fully either understood or disclosed at the time that these compounds were rolled out. Later in this session, we're also going to talk about a really compelling article from a doctor who I know. He's a cardiovascular focused physician in the UK. His name is Asim Moharta. We've actually shared the stage together at Metabolic Health Summit back right before COVID hit in January of 2020. So a great
All right.
person. He actually
So
talks a
yeah,
lot.
he's gonna keep talking for a
Recommends-
little bit. I'm gonna fast forward just so I don't get
And he
like
himself
copyright
was
or whatever.
a contributor to medical journals and so forth. Artery disease. So soon recommendations and modifications that Dr. Asim recommends. So soon after getting an mRNA vaccine, his father actually died from coronary artery disease, even though he was very healthy, one of the healthiest individuals of his age, and he himself was a contributor to medical journals and so forth. And autopsy results show like
Extremely healthy individual.
5% some odd blockage in his major coronary arteries, which blew Asim away. And so what he did is he
75%
went back
blockage
really
in his
through the
arteries.
literature and found that
Coronary
we were actually
artery.
told about the relative
That's
risk
ridiculous.
in terms of the benefits linked with taking the vaccines, not the absolute risk reduction. So this is really important stuff, my friends, and we're going to get to that. But first, I do want to share this paper here, and I wish this paper was published around last Christmas because I had.
So Facebook's going to continue to ban me and block me for sharing truth like this,
I was
guys.
not going to vaccinate my daughter, who was 9
You know, I got a page called Surviving the Sea,
who I want to
Surviving the
not have friction
CV,
with, but because
but
all sources of information
and it's
could be
all
more
spelt
different.
out, you know,
My family, as much as I love them, and as
like
as
that, like the
much
beer
as support they offer to
from
me,
Mexico,
they consume a lot
and
of
then with the
mainstream
V,
television as a
IR,
main media source, NPR,
US.
CNN, and the like, and so they were just completely bewildered by the fact that I did not want to get an mRNA-based vaccine for a virus that I've already had and have proven to have.
Yeah,
immunity
you
against.
guys had these arguments with your family and friends yet? Are you arguing with your family and friends about this? Like, why aren't you getting it? Like, well, because this information, we knew about this information before it's been publicly released. That's the thing, is we knew about all of
Adverse
this.
effects of COVID-19 mRNA vaccine.
That's why I didn't get it. It's called research. It's called having faith in God, knowing that your immune system is created as best as it probably can. Man can't make it any better. Screw that. Keep your faith in God.
Your own cells make the protein. But it turns out, I think they picked the wrong protein. The spike protein is how, as you know, SARS-CoV-2 enters into your cells. It's basically like the Trojan horse. Remember, viruses are intracellular obligate parasites.
Pay
They get into
attention.
your cells, they borrow your own machinery to
Good
their own
information
benefit,
here.
they replicate, and they move on to other
Get
cells
educated.
and infect adjacent
Just
cells.
pay attention. It might
Part
be a
of that
little
process is
out of your
inhibited by
realm.
the spike protein, which is not benign. The nucleocapsid, there's other proteins
keep
within SARS-CoV-2 are actually benign. The nucleocapsid would have been a much better target for the mRNA-based vaccines. But unfortunately, that wasn't the target. It was the spike protein. Now, it turns out that the spike protein, it's cleaved. It doesn't stay locally within the deltoid like we were promised for a year. It is found.
Yep, they lied about that.
It's been found in the bladder. It's been found in the uterus. It goes all over the body.
The uterus.
It turns out
Causing a lot of women issues right now. You ladies having issues right now? Comment below.
Translates into
My wife's been having issues and she didn't even get it. It's the spike protein that's been affecting her from her friends who got it.
And you give them billions or millions of molecules of spike
Can't believe that they got it.
Their ribosomes within their cells are making this. It's getting cleaved and it's going everywhere. And in a subset
So if
of
you
those
share
individuals, it
your
can create
smoking,
things like autoimmunity.
if you share your smoke with anyone, you know, you want to try not to be sharing anything with anyone who got that because of the spike protein.
Also causes those things, and yes,
But
that is
at the
true.
same time,
But this is why
how do you build
we
up your
should
immune
have
system?
applied risk assessment.
So that's
Low
all a
risk
matter of
people that are
personal
not
choice
at
there.
high
If
risk
you
for
want to
developing the chronic conditions
build
linked
up
to
the
COVID,
immunity
we should
towards
not have
things, then you
forced
can
them
do
to
that.
get
And if
something,
not,
especially
then
if they have already experienced the whole virus itself. Okay, that's been my point all along. High risk people are a different conversation, but
yes.
it turns out that
Yes.
the spike protein, and I'm not going to read every little sentence in this paper, but this
High risk
paper
is
goes
different
into the
than us
pathology,
healthy individuals.
specifically the immunopathology that is mediated by the spike protein. And again, I'm not being anti-vaccine here. This occurs with the virus itself too, right? You get spike protein, especially if you have a high viral load with the actual infection. But that is part of the problem. And one of the challenges with the spike protein is it has some ability to induce clotting cascades and interfere with clotting and blood coagulation, which can lead to some of the
People are going to
consequences
deny
when it
these
comes to
facts
adverse
still.
effects from the immunization.
If I
So
share this,
that's
I'm going to
one
get
point.
dinged
Point number
again.
two that I think is important to recognize
Sucks.
is
I
the
don't know
lipid
what I can and
nanoparticle
can't
that's
share anymore
used
these
to
days on
deliver
Facebook,
the
guys.
mRNA is actually immunogenic in and of itself. So we have two potential immunogenic aspects linked with this vaccine, and that could be then linked mechanistically to the adverse effects that were under-recognized or were told are not important. And again, I think if we're injecting things into our body, whether they're dietary supplements or they're prescription drugs or they're vaccines, we should be concerned about the potential side effects acutely, chronically, and what are the benefits linked therein, which is an important
Yeah,
time
but those
now,
side
and
effects should also
time to
have
talk
been
about this
studied
paper
and
from
researched
Dr.
first
Sam
before
Hartung,
putting to
who is a
market
physician in the
with an
UK.
emergency
The
use
title of
act
this
with the
paper is
EU.
Curing the Pandemic of Misinformation on COVID-19 mRNA Vaccines Through Real-World Evidence-Based Medicine, Part 1. So he goes on to talk about the history of vaccines, how he's very pro-vaccine in general, how vaccines have helped enhance life expectancy and reduce the burden of acute infectious diseases and virulence. You know, we think of polio and smallpox and all of these different pathogens that we're all exposed to. However, he goes on to talk about his father and the loss of his father. So that is a very personal, anecdotal experience, obviously, because it directly impacted him. You only have one father in this world, and if your father dies and has a good medical history shortly after receiving one of these compounds, obviously you want to do some digging. And he went on to do some digging, and this is where I'm just going to read to you verbatim. I might cut and chop and things like that, but I think it's important that we understand this, and this paper is really well done. And again, this is a paper that I would love to share with my immediate family and extended family. because
They
I
won't
know
read it.
how exuberant they are when it comes to getting
They'll
the
ignore
latest
it.
and
They like
greatest
to stay
technology,
ignorant.
that's being
Ignore
promoted
it.
by public health
Ignorant.
officials and the media. But we should understand the potential risks that technology might garner. So here we go. He goes on to say, a doctor's experience. Volunteering in a vaccine center, I was one of the first to receive 2 doses of Pfizer's messenger RNA vaccine at the end of January 2021. Although I knew my individual risk was small for COVID-19, at age 43 with optimal metabolic health, the main reason I took the jab was to prevent transmission of the virus to my vulnerable patients.
Right,
That
because
seems very
everyone
very
said that it was
altruistic.
safe
That's
to
why
do
a lot
that.
of people are getting these immunizations. and so
Even though we
he
knew
says,
they
during
didn't
early
have time to
2021, I
get the
was both
research
surprised and
done.
concerned by a number of my vaccine hesitant patients and people in my social network who were asking me to comment on what I regarded at the time as merely anti-vax propaganda. So he goes on to talk about
What he
how
regarded
took
at the
vaccine
time
and all these
as
sort of
just
things.
mere,
But then
oh,
he
it's
talks
just
about his
that.
father.
It's just
On July 26, 2021,
anti-vax.
my father, Dr. Kailash Chanad, OBE, a former deputy chair of the British Medical Association, BMA, and its honorary vice president, who has also taken both doses of Pfizer mRNA vaccine 6 months earlier, suffered a cardiac arrest at home after experiencing chest pain.
How
The
many
subsequent
individuals who
inquiry
took
revealed
that one
a significant
specifically is
ambulance
having the
delay
heart issues?
likely contributed to his death. But his postmortem findings are what I find particularly shocking, inexplicable. 2 of his 3 major arteries had severe blockages, 90% blockages in his left anterior descending artery and a 75% blockage in his right coronary.
He was
Given that he was
healthy.
extremely fit and active, a 73-year-old man, having walked an average of
Probably
10
healthier
to
than you.
15,000 steps a day during COVID, this was a shock to everyone who knew him, but most of all to me. I knew his medical history and lifestyle habits in great detail. My father, who had been a keen sportsman all his life, was fitter than the overwhelming majority of men his age.
Well,
Since the previous
that's
heart
what I
scans
mean,
a few
probably
years
healthier
earlier
than
had
you.
revealed no significant problems with perfect blood flow throughout his arteries
Not
and
me.
only mild furring. He had quit sugar, lost belly fat, reduced the dose of his blood pressure pills, started regular meditation, reversed his prediabetes, and
Look at
even
that.
massively dropped his blood
Reversed
triglycerides,
his
significant
pre-diabetes.
improvement
He
in
was
his
a
cholesterol
healthy
profile.
mofo.
I couldn't explain his postmortem findings, especially as there was no evidence of an actual heart attack, but with severe blockages.
Sure, you can explain
he
it
goes
once
on
they come out with
to
the
talk
truth.
about how he starts
I'll
to
be able to
review
explain all of
the
these
data.
side
And
effects
he talks
very
about something
soon.
here. The title of this section is Questioning the Data. I recalled a cardiologist colleague of mine informing me, to my astonishment at the time, that he had made a decision not to take the vaccine for a number of reasons, including his personal low-grade background COVID-19 risk.
Roll up
That
another.
seems very reasonable. But again, at the time, you were considered an anti-vaxxer if you held that position, which is complete, I think, propaganda. And so he talks about relative versus absolute risk. And again, hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me for sharing this.
Right.
because
Oh,
this is
I could show you my
published
glass.
data. Okay. So he talks about how
Clean and
Michelle
clear.
Walensky was very surprised when even she heard, now
Smaller
she's
hole
worked
on
at
the top,
CDC, but when she was working
bigger on the
for, I
bottom.
think Mass General at the time, when she heard on CNN that the efficacy of the
Gardenia
vaccine was
glass.
95% effective, meaning that out of 100 people that got that,
It's a smoke
95%
session.
would not transmit or contract the virus, and we know that not to be true. Now, this might be the important qualification here is differentiating absolute versus relative risk reduction. So it turns out that the trial results suggested that the vaccine was only preventing a person from having a symptomatic positive test. And the absolute risk reduction for this was
roll up another real quick, guys.
4%.
While we get educated here.
Less than 1%. It's 0.8%. Okay.
Pretty interesting, huh?
In other words,
A lot of people say that
if 10,000 people were to have been vaccinated,
I like to call it
and 10,000
stoners.
people had not, for every
So
10,000
us
people
stoners
who had been vaccinated,
getting more
in trial
educated
four
than
would have tested
the
positive
masses.
with symptoms compared to
Something's
88
not right
who
with
were
that picture.
unvaccinated. Okay, even in the
It's like
unvaccinated
hippies who got cleaner toilets than the
9,912
masses.
of the 10,000 would have not
That's
tested
how I roll.
positive during the trial. So this is important. Okay, we were told, the world at large was told not about absolute risk reduction, but relative risk reduction within the trial. And he goes on to talk about how the absolute risk reduction figure, 0.84%, is extremely important for doctors and patients to know.
Yep.
But how many of them were told about this at the time?
How none?
Everyone said
Yep.
95%, 95%.
Yep.
We were not told about the differences here between absolute and relative risk. And this is very important because we see this all
Okay,
the time.
hold on. So what they did there, if you guys have been paying attention since like 2018, 2019, when that individual Gates stepped down from his position, that position that he was in with Microsoft, being the CEO and being the man of Microsoft, they're the ones who create windows, the windows that can look into your homes, that can see into what's going on here as you're looking through their windows out there. Unless you have a tint, they can see right through. That's why they call it windows. And the internet, it's a way of catching everyone internally through the internet. So they're just capturing everyone in the internet. They're watching everyone through windows. And this individual stepped away. So if you've been paying attention since then, I mean, that didn't seem like just a random thing to do. There was a lot of thought involved in him stepping down from his position of being king. He stepped away from his kingdom there. He was the king stepping away from his kingdom in order to do what? The elite gave him a bigger kingdom, guys. That's all that happened. He then was able to rule over all authority when he had no medical background. He was able to come in before all of this happened during the event 201, the 201 event. Remember event 201? It happened in New York. I think it was like in August, like months before they found this spreading around the world. And they were talking about a scenario, and he was the savior. He came in with all of his data and information and talking about how we need to get ahead of this before something like this explodes around the world, right? Like they did, like they weren't planning it at the event 201. And so, if you've been paying attention to what's been going on since the beginning, paying attention to what he's been doing, in between that time when he stepped down and he started becoming the ruler of what we are supposed to do, even though he has no medical background history or anything. And then you got that other little scrawny dude, Fauci, who he hasn't even practiced in how many years? We've only heard of him like for the last couple years, but apparently he's been like in practice for, I don't know, like 30 years or something like that. It's like, all right, well, I don't know who this guy is. Except, yeah, we've come to learn who he is. His different research and studies. That's why they picked him and chose him. Different things that he was all invested in with, all this like AIDS and Ebola and all these other different outbreaks that have occurred around the world and all the different research that he's done. And so, Yeah, that scrawny dude is telling everyone what to do as well. But Gates, between that time of him stepping down and him becoming the rule authority of this kingdom here, he every year gave book recommendations. And one of the books that he recommended recently, in recent years, right before all of this broke out, it was called How to Lie with Statistics. You can look it up. I'm sure you can probably Google an image of it. If you can't find it, I'm sure I can find it for you. But it's a book called How to Lie with Statistics. And there's a video on here too called How to Lie with Statistics. Maybe we should just add that to this video right now. It's an hour and a half long video. But we're not done with this. It's only got 4 more minutes. But basically I wanted to just point out that he was recommending this book, How to Lie with Statistics. The elite always has to let us know what's going on. They have to always let us be aware of what their plans are without directly telling us. They have to. It's part of their manifesto, I guess, or the rules and guides that they follow. So what they did is they basically learned how to lie with statistics. When he recommended that book, it wasn't recommended for us to read. It was recommended for all his colleagues to read so they could know where we were going to be headed and how they were going to direct us in this way. They planned this all out from the beginning, and they knew exactly how to lie to us all with statistics by basically like putting information out there that was true or half truths, not giving us the full disclosure of it all. And so that's how everyone got duped. You know, I feel bad for those who really didn't research deep enough, or those who just blatantly just became assholes to me personally. You know, I thought I had some really good close friends who were like, you know, ride or die kind of friends, you know, who always got your back, man. Don't worry about it. If you ever need anything, I got you. I got you. You know, they don't got me anymore. You know, they're not my enemies, but they're no longer my friends. They outs themselves. They X themselves out of their own potential safety, of being able to utilize me in the future when they're going to need some information from me on how to get through things, how to survive, you know, how are you going to eat if there's no food? What weeds can you eat that's edible? What are safe? What are not safe? You know, how are you going to collect rainwater, and how are you even going to filter it? How do you know if it's even pure? How can you even start a fire if you don't even know how to start one to begin with? You know, you're going to try to rub some sticks together and blister up your hands? Do you have any Vaseline cotton balls ready to go, and some the flint strikers, and you know, do you have any way to actually start a fire? Do you have a magnifying glass you can use with the sun? Do you know how to make a magnifying glass with a plastic bag and water? Like, there are ways you can easily make a fire. You can make a fire with water. The glass man will teach you how to do that. So all these individuals, they X themselves out of my life, of my path. So that's their own punishment, I guess, you know, is they now have to deal with that. That's their karma. And so I feel sad because I lost a lot of what I thought were good friends or close friends, individuals that I looked up to and respected, and then they just became so ugly and gross towards me when I wasn't being that way towards them. I was just trying to share information and knowledge that I found that they were suppressing, or that they knew how to turn the information about in a way that they could lie with the statistics. And I really feel bad for these individuals now, because they will succumb to their own decision making on this. you know, and even us who haven't gotten it, we still have to deal with this whole spike proteins not benign, that they are shedding this upon us, that we can actually get sick from them now, but our immunity is stronger. We will be able to build a resistance against their sickness and their own weaknesses. We will be able to build up a tolerance and immunity. But it sucks that we got to risk our health now. We have to get sick, because there is no other way of living in this world amongst each other and not get sick now. And that was the plan, was to make sure that they reached that 80% threshold. So then that way the 80% could then make the 20% sick, and we will then see how many of that 20% have a strong enough immunity, are able to resist against this. You know, will it be 50%? Will only 10% survive? You know, they've been talking about bringing the world's population. You know, the Georgia Guidestones were blown up recently, so they don't need those talking points anymore. It's been up for 42 years. 42, a very prominent number in those who work in the Freemasonry, stonemasons, Freemasons, Illuminati. 42 degrees. So 42 years it was up, Georgia Guidestones, and then they blew it up. They blew it up. Not someone random. They did. They put it up. They blew it up. It's time. It's time now to reach that level of what they were saying, to keep the world's population down to 500 million, and to keep it in perfect harmony with nature. And the very last one, always make room for nature. Make room for nature. That was printed in stone twice. That's not a typo. Make room for nature. Make room for nature. That's what the Great Reset's all about, guys. but it's a beautiful plan. You know, we're going to set the earth back to nature. We're going to get back to nature. It's what I promote. It's what I endorse. It's what I recommend. But I don't want people to be forced into it in a very uncomfortable way, or to the point where they get pushed to death. You know, like this is going to become harsh for those who aren't prepared for survival in these means of getting back to nature. This is going to be really harsh for those who are very dependent upon the artificial intelligence and technology and resources that we have now. You know, if they're going to reset us, it's going to be in a way where technology will become in harmony with nature, and we will become less destructive in the future. But in order to do so, this world that we're living in right now must be destroyed. That's what the Great Reset's all about. And we, the human race, is all a part of this world that they are planning to destroy. They have to tear it down in order to build new. You know, it's like when they brought those towers down and they rebuilt a new one, more beautiful, right? It beams light all the way to the heavens, right? Tore it down to build it back up. Although still people don't know where that 3 billions of gold went, or 30 billion of gold went, right? But let's not talk about those things. Let's forget about those kinds of facts, you know. Let's forget about the facts that they're pushing here, or you know, they're trying to lie with these statistics, you know. Let's just forget about all the cons. I only focus on the fake pros. It's pretty ridiculous in the world that we're living in, guys. And there is no discernment. People are not doing any sort of self-research, or the thing is, and I always go back to God. You know, for me, it's all about being one with God. You know, like apparently we can't be one with the billions of individuals on this planet because there's all this segregation and division. There's no unity amongst us, you know. We can't be one with each other, but we can all become one with God. And so that's my main focus always is, you know, Hare Krishna, always being in focus of that pure supreme personality of Godhead, that supreme personality, not the God of war and the God of rage, the God of sin, the God of envy. No, we don't want those personalities from Godhead. We want to focus on the supreme personality of Godhead. You know, that beautiful love that you get when you see a newborn baby. You know, that beautiful love you get, you know, when you know, like when you're first born and you see the look of your mother as you're looking into her eyes. You know, that's the supreme personality. That's that love. That's that level of Godhead that we want to be at and we want to focus in on. Not the Lord of destruction, not any of that. But Krishna, Hare Krishna. We want to focus on that. Many want to focus on Jesus. Jesus, he was one of our best teachers of all times. But even before he was born, the prophets told everyone, the masses, that a new king would be born. The new king, a new savior is to come again. Well, who was the old king or kings before that? Who was the old king or kings before that? For me, it's that same eternal soul that's within Jesus that just came back again in baby Jesus at that point, 2022 years ago. But he came again. A new king is born unto us this day in the town of Bethlehem. He came again. They knew the king was coming again. Again. So who was the king before? Or kings before? Where do these prophecies come from? If the end all be all is only 2022 years ago, but humans have been around for much longer than that, how were humans able to find their path, their way to God without Jesus before baby Jesus was born? That's the main question that I ask all Christians is, how was anyone able to serve God before Jesus was born? Are you telling me there was no way? That we were all just in hell at that point? That there was no unity, no connection? That the prophets had nothing to garner their information from? So for me, you know, it's like using the Bible as a way to lie with statistics. It's a beautiful reincarnation of what's already been printed. Printed 400 years after the birth and the life of Christ, or the eternal soul Krishna coming back in Christ. And so I just want you to think about that. We were prophesied that the king was to come again and a new king was to be born. A new. So who was the old king? Well, there are many. There is a lineage. And until you actually learn of sacred knowledge that extends far beyond the Bible, you will never, ever get to the factual information. You will always be stuck in just what's been presented to you. Like what they've done here with How to Lie with Statistics. The masses, they got stuck in only the information that was presented to them. They did not keep their faith in God. They did not keep their faith in God. They went for a man-made Emergency Use Act experimental gene therapy that alters, now we know, alters the DNA. Information has come out, guys. We knew this was going to happen because the way that the RNA works, it perforates the cell membrane. Perforation of the cell membrane is never good. But if you want to risk a man-made science like this for your life that was given to you under God, through God, by God, for God, you're supposed to be here to serve God, to be here for God. But we forget that. We're distracted by man's goodies and all this stuff here. That it's very simple for us to be lied to with statistics because this has been going on since the time of Jesus. And people have been lied to, not knowing the ultimate truth. That there is more to the story than just Jesus. You know, there's more to this whole story here than what they've been presenting. So for me, it's always just going back to God. Always keeping that faith, knowing that what were you running from anyways? You were running from death? You were scared to die. Because of what? Because you didn't have faith in knowing that you were going right back to Creator. That your eternal soul would just simply go right back to Creator, which is probably the best place in the entire multiverse, right? In all the universe, in all the world, what's the best place to be? Well, some people might say like, yeah, at the movies, having dinner, enjoying an intimate time with their loved one, you know, that's where they want to be. In all those material aspects. They don't think about the eternal soul and how the soul really is just striving to get back to Godhead. Right back to that supreme source of energy and light and truth. Vedic truth. So until you actually learn about Vedas, you will always be lied to by statistics. By just what they've been pushing and promoting and endorsing for 2,000 plus years now. And if you've been lied to for that long, which we all have, you know, I myself, only like 6 years ago or so, did I find the Vedic knowledge and the Vedas, which is the ultimate truth. And I'm still learning, researching, studying, and it's a long path, and I have a long ways to go still, but at least I've found this truth in order to be able to help me. So with that being said, I'm just going to get back to here because I wanted to stop him right there because people need to understand that Gates was pushing that book, How to Lie with Statistics. And if you read that, and it's a short video on here on YouTube, which I might still share, but maybe we'll bring that for another video, another day, another time. I'm going to smoke this one here because I've just been talking. And so we're going to finish up this video together. I'm going to have you listen on how they lied to everyone, the masses, with statistics.
And this is not new.
Here, I'll rewind you this a little bit.
Of them, not about absolute risk reduction, but relative risk reduction within the trial. And he goes on to talk about how the absolute risk reduction figure, 0.84%, is extremely important for doctors and patients to know. But how many of them were told about this at the time? No one. Everyone said 95%, 95%.
Yep.
We were not told about the differences
Yep.
here between absolute and relative risk. And this is very important because we see this all the time. And this is not new. This trend, if you've been following drugs over the course of the years, from Vioxx to statins to all sorts of medications, okay, we are not always told about absolute risk. We are told about relative risk. And there's a major difference here, my friends. And so he goes on and talks about all sorts of different factors. I'm not going to read all this to you, but I implore you to download this paper, to read this paper, and then share this with friends and family. Not to spread vaccine hesitancy, not to dissuade people from making decisions, but to help people understand the risk-benefit analysis and the differences between relative risk and absolute risk. So I think that is the important point. Many of the people that have been censored or throttled back on social media, we're not spreading misinformation. We've already had the virus, many of us, and so we did not feel the need to go and increase our protection when there are unknown risks, okay? And so I think that is the trend throughout our videos that we've talked about. I implore you to make your own health decisions. I implore you, first of all,
see, he's not trying to like tell you what to do. He's just trying to tell you to research this information yourself, but also understand
and also
that
if you choose to get it back,
also understand that no one, not any single individual, no one, not anyone, not even the doctors, no one was able to obtain a patient consent disclosure agreement, which lists all of the risks, all of the health issues that were found in the research and the studies, because usually they take, about 10 years plus for them to research and study what may happen, 5 to 10 years from you taking something new like this. They normally test it in the labs and they have all this information and data and everything, but no, this one was rolled out because of an emergency use act. Why was it rolled out for emergency use act? Because they claimed there was no other medicinal, I can't say cures, but treatments. No other medicinal treatments on the world, in the world, on the entire planet. That's why they suppressed ivermectin. That's why they suppressed all of the other different data with getting enough vitamin D, vitamin C, boosting your health, boosting your immunity. There was some other, the quinines, they were saying you can easily find it in ginger ale. But you'd have to get like the really good stuff, like the Schweppes or something, not the Canadian Dry. You'd have to get like the better ginger ale, or actually get it that has real ginger in it because of the quinine. So there was different treatments, medicinal treatments that were available, but because they were saying that it was a horse dewormer and humans shouldn't take it and blah blah blah, it's like you guys are lying entirely, not revealing how it's been used for other ailments and treatments for many years already. And it's safe and effective. But let's forget about all of that for the many, many years, decades of using it and prescribing it for other ailments. And let's just single in on the fact that some people were getting a horse dewormer because that was the only supply they could find. They weren't taking it away from the livestock because the horses needed that still. And they were hoping that the humans weren't going to be that desperate because of not having the proper information, facts, the proper medicines, proper treatments, or having access to any of it. And then doctors getting suppressed, losing their licenses, losing their jobs, risking their families' well-being by not being able to pay their mortgage and buy food and, all that stuff. They put us in a predicament and situation that was very dire. And they forced individuals to help succumb other individuals. That's what happened. 80% of the population now. They reached that goal, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, they reached that 80% goal. So now, for the next, after they got it, 6 months, we started seeing right away these side effects and issues and things, and within 2 years from then, which this has only been what, this year? They started in this year, right? Was it, or was it last year? It's been almost a year. It's been almost 2 years now. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to be dropping very soon. I'm trying to remember the timeline because I know that we had it in 2020 was when, was it November, December at the end of the year is when they rolled it out. So 2021, I think it was like February, March was when they started rolling it out to the individuals. Where's Tiffany Dover? And then 6 months after that, we started seeing a lot of individuals succumb. I lost a lot of friends. Well, not a lot, but I lost a few friends through all that. And, some people say they had strokes in their sleep, or they had some sort of issues, or health complications, or whatever. They were fine up until that point, until them getting the jibby jab. So, I don't know what my point was or my rant there. I just know that we're now just barely going to start seeing all this stuff coming out. It's February, March 2021. So we're already a year, almost 2 years in, guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens and what occurs now. The truth is finally coming out, but it's a little too late. And there is no reversing this gene therapy. Once it's in, it's like, try to separate salt, sugar, and flour once you've mixed it in. Try. I mean, maybe on a nanotechnological scale, maybe there's a way of separating it through nanotechnology and membranes and things like that, but can you really? And can you put your body through that kind of a nanotechnology transfusion, I guess is what you would call it, in order to cleanse your body and start it renew once again? Is there any way of doing that? I mean, what is that, dialysis? Or something? When they give you a whole blood transfusion? Like, that's pretty dangerous to do. Isn't that usually a very risky procedure? Now 80% or more of the world's going to need that. And it's sad. Because even the plasma, the people who take blood and plasma, I think they stopped taking it from those who got the jibby jab because they're now tainted. And they can only use the blood and the they can only use that from the pure bloods now. So now it's all up to pure bloods to donate plasma and blood in order to save the others. But I don't even know if we can do anything like that. And everyone get a blood transfusion? I mean, can that even be done? It's already been embedded in the cells. You'd have to maybe even have to do organ transplants at this point. Brain transplants? You're not doing that. Like, it's found in the brain, it's found in the uterus, it's found in the kidneys, it's found all over the body now. I don't know what to do about it, guys, besides pray. And the only other thing I can do is remind everyone, that this body is not eternal, but our souls are eternal. We are eternal spirit souls already within these material vessels. And until you can actually understand that separation and know that this material life is not the real world, and the real world that we seek is in our spiritual path and our soul journey, our eternal spirit soul's journey. That's the real life. That's the real path. That's what we should really be focusing in on. So until we can get to that point, all is one, we're going to continue to have these issues forever, for all eternity. Until all souls can finally be awakened. But we got a lot of woke ass people out there now, huh? Oh, you guys. Alright, I'm gonna let this play still. Oh, really? Is that really truth? Your son does donate, huh? Oh, that is scary. Okay, well, you know, the best that we can do is just pray for the best outcome. That scares me, though, that if your son did get the jibby jab and is able to donate, because I heard that they weren't taking that anymore. I heard that it was that they had to just do the purebloods. But I don't believe in vampirism. I don't believe in allowing them to suck my blood. You know? I don't believe in doing that. I've never, you know. When my mom was homeless, when we were homeless with our mother, she would do that. She would do that so much. Drained her. They took her soul. They took her energy. So I don't believe in donating plasma. I don't believe in running from death either. I believe we should run for it. But that doesn't mean to just go and commit suicide either. Everyone, every soul, every eternal soul, we have to succumb on this journey here on earth through the 4 stages of suffering. Everyone goes through birth, disease, old age, and death. And I questioned the old age part because, you know, I lost a 3.5-month-old daughter after the first 3 months doctor's appointment and after getting her first sets of jabs. And I've always been against those, you know. So when you lose a child at 3.5 months old, after they just got their first sets of the jabs, I'm not even talking what we're talking about these days with the whole RNA, the gene therapy. It's not even the same thing as what that was. But even that had a risk, and I've been talking about not succumbing to that for over a decade or more now. You know, I've always been against the flu. One, you know, I don't think anyone should do that. I think you should build up your immune system. I think the Creator created us with a perfect natural immunity that should get us through whatever we need to. If we don't have a strong enough immunity, then that's God's way of saying that your time will be short here. That's all it is. And that you will soon come back to Him. That's all it is for me. You know, I don't try to run from death, but I'm also not trying to go commit suicide daily. You know, I know that there are individuals here on this this earth journey that need this reminder. And so that's why I'm here. That's part of my path and my plan. So, but it is interesting that you say that. If your son is still giving out tainted blood, holy shit. There are a lot of individuals who are going to succumb. Even more that we're trying to save and they're thinking that they're getting a good, proper transfusion or something, and that's not going to help them. You're serious. Like, this is recent that your son is doing this? That scares the shit out of me. I thought they regulated that. That's even scarier. Holy. Okay. Well, I'll retract my statement then. Apparently, they're not regulating the blood that's going through plasmas. I'll retract that statement. Thank you for correcting me. I apologize for spreading that lie. You know, not everything that I've been talking about has been unconfirmed. I thought that was confirmed. I thought they said that they couldn't take it. I thought they reported that. And you're telling me your son is giving out tainted blood. Is that true? When was the recent last donation? And where? Which city, which state? In this country, in the US? You still here? I hope you're still here. I hope you didn't just drop something real quick and then let's go. But, okay, I'll retract that statement. I got no issues with that. I'm not 100% perfect. You know, I'm not gonna even try to pretend to be, you know. And you know, every day this information continues to change. This situation, it's not like it's fixed. This situation is not fixed. This is a continuously changing situation. This is a very organic situation that we're in. So that's news to me, Eddie. Thank you for enlightening me with this horrific news and details. Wow. I'm pretty freaking shocked. I thought that they'd stopped that. I was praying that that was true, and I heard that because that was the only thing. I was like, wow, well, at least there ain't gonna like poison anyone else further. But I don't know. I think you just posted that up and then left instead of having a discussion. And that's the thing, you know, like as an individual who's trying to get the information out, if the information is changed on me, it doesn't mean that it was true one day and then false the other. No, it just means that the information got changed. Truth will always be truth. False will always be false, you know, but the truth will always come out. The truth will always prevail. It may take centuries, whatever. Truth will prevail, you know. But okay, let's just continue with this then. I got proven wrong on a tiny thing there, I guess, compared to the bigger picture here.
Vaccine, the more healthy you are, the better your immunologic response will be, and it will reduce the likelihood of serious adverse effects.
Hold on, I'll rewind it so we can kind of get into what he was talking about.
We've already had the virus, many of us, and so we did not feel the need to go and increase our protection when there are unknown risks.
I think at this point,
so
all
I
of us
think
have gotten
is the trend
it.
Throughout our videos that we've talked about.
But some of us are the immune system was already compromised by the jibby jab.
The more healthy you are, the better you will withstand any infection, especially SARS-CoV-2.
Yes.
And also, if you choose to get a vaccine, the more healthy you are, the better your immunologic response will be, and it will reduce the likelihood of serious adverse effects from this.
Yes,
And
but
so
this new
that's
gene
what I wanna share
therapy
with you,
is
my friends.
different because
And,
it's not
you know, I
the
think we're at
vat.
a place in society now where it's not so controversial.
Scene.
Thankfully, we have people that are digging deeper into the statistics, and we have scientists that are looking at potential immunopathology linked with the spike protein and all of this. And all we're asking for is transparency in the literature and honest conversations with regards to absolute risk and relative
I'm
risk.
all for
and
honest
considering
conversations.
natural immunity, prior infection.
If you want to
and
call them
one's
debates or
own
arguments,
risk of
whatever,
getting-
it's just
having
a
severe
conversation
outcomes.
that we're having.
That's what we've been trying to talk about.
I'm trying to get the
At least
information
on
out.
at least on this platform specifically, not spreading fear-based messaging. You know, I've
Right.
tried to educate you guys and gals from day one, January 2020, when I saw face masks were sold out, but yet McDonald's was the busiest I've ever seen it. I knew, I'm not trying to get credit for this, but I knew society was going to botch their response to this emerging pathogen, and surely
Yep.
we did. We see
Because
people
they
now
wanted
gain
Mickey
more and more weight.
D's.
People are more and more unhealthy.
They wanted
Children
that
now are
fast
scared to
food.
take off their face masks because they're so, they hide behind
And they
it.
sold
These are like
alcohol.
the new sunglasses in grocery stores. People wear sunglasses and a face mask because they don't even want to interact with other people. Social connection, really,
Well,
seeing faces. This is part of the human.
sometimes you
experience, my
got to
friends.
block your soul
So
from
it's-
others
it's
because they
time
try
that
to
we
pry
now
into.
Start to really
So
have
wearing
these honest
sunglasses at
conversations.
night ain't a bad
thanks as
thing
always for tuning in.
sometimes.
If you want a shirt like
Now
this,
watch out for them
your journey
vampires.
is nothing. The terrain is everything. It's linked over on our website at myoscience.com. Use the code podcast to save. We have a lot of great shirts to help inspire meaningful conversations. I will tell you, when I go to the gym, when I go to the grocery store, when I'm out in public, I always wear these shirts. And I meet a friend every time.
That's
I'm
all
not
he
saying
wears
to
is
sell
like
t-shirts,
Homer
right? There's a
Simpson
low
in his
margin
white
thing. I'm
shirt.
trying
Like
to
that's all I wear.
help you
Just
have
this
these
shirt.
same sort of interactions because people are like, yeah, let's like make natural immunity count again. Like I wear that on airplanes all the time, and I get so many high fives. So many people saying, "Where can I get that shirt?" And I give them my cell phone. I'm like, hey, text me. Here's the link. You know, here's this code. So I want you to have those same interactions. So links will be below to these t-shirts and the articles that we talked about today. As always, friends, thanks for sharing this video. Thanks for hitting the like button. Catch you later.
Right on. Well, there you go. That's just a little information I want to share with you because basically, you know, me sharing out information these days has gotten me into trouble and has basically I've become, you know, I've become restricted on this platform here. So all I have to say to you the truth will always prevail. You can continue to try to suppress the truth, but it will prevail. And we need to have these open conversations without just running in and getting your point across and then running out. We really, really need to have these conversations because if that is the truth, we need to know, well, which plasma donation centers is this individual going to? How many others are they allowing to do this? I thought that that was being regulated. Should they be regulated? This is a whole nother can of worms that just got opened up here. I didn't even think about that. That's a whole nother situation now that we got to look into. I don't want anyone's tainted blood in me. But if I have an emergency situation come up, I'm not going to be able to have that decision. If I'm unconscious or whatever, you know, I won't be able to say, just allow me to go back to God, please. Just let me lie here and go perfectly. You know? No, people are going to try to save me. They're going to put some tainted blood into me or something like that. This concerns me. This vampirism is rampant and it concerns me. And this has been going on for many years. You know, Bob Marley used to sing about it. I'm trying to remember the song now. I can't think of it, or I would sing it for you. Babylon system run by the vampire, sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah. Tell the children the truth. Come on. Tell the children the truth now. Come on now. Tell the children the truth right now. Come on. Tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth right now. 'Cause they've been taking it for granted much too long. Rebel. Babylon system is a vampire, fallen empire, sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah. Tell the children the truth. Come on. Tell the children the truth. Come on and tell the children the truth right now. Come on and tell the children the truth. Tell your children the truth right now. Come on, tell your children the truth. Tell your children the truth right now. Come on.